Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. Way past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses that comfort them.
What up, though? What's that nigga mind, man? This is a new channel discovery, man. We about to react to this. This cartoon predicted Trump's America. And the channel that we just newly discovered is Bradley Smith. So go check out his channel, see all his content, and show him some love. Because you know it's love over here on this channel. So let's get right into what he's talking about. Damn, hold on.
Central cartoon back in 2010 actually predicted Trump's America, and I'm not talking about...
Came out in 2010. So this way before... Damn, okay. Yeah, after 2008 is when... Yeah, so Obama was in office in 2008. So yeah.
South Park, but the short-lived animated sitcom Ugly Americans.
I'm not going to choose someone based on merit, like Donald Trump on The Apprentice. I'm going to hire my unqualified daughter, like Donald Trump in real life.
And I promise this
was crazy. I seen this show. I seen it on cause I got regular, you know, channel TVs. You know, I mean, yeah, regular TV channels, but it's not antenna. It's the digital shit. So it's a channel on there, and they play this shit all day. And sometimes I used to watch it. I used to have it on that channel sometimes. Matter of fact, I think it was on the same channel Daria came on, if I'm not mistaken. But cause I used to watch Daria. Daria, a good ass show. But I watched some of this shit, but I ain't follow the story. Or it was another show. Matter of fact, yeah, it was the show. Cause I think it's a dude that was like eating his body was falling apart or some shit.
This is not clickbait. The show actually has a lot of shocking similarities to what we've seen under Trump's reign. For example, here's a scene where someone tries to give the old JFK special, the demon leader of hell, and this happens.
For his heart, Lily.
Ow! Somebody shot my ear!
That's okay. That's very similar. He shot his ear.
Yeah, so it's strapping women and wizards, and let's talk about Ugly Americans. Ugly Americans is an adult animated sitcom created by Devin Clark for Comedy Central. It aired from March 2010 to April 2012. And something I wasn't aware of when I started this is Ugly Americans actually started out as a web series, but not like some indie darling like Smiling Friends. You see, Devin Clark had been working at Comedy Central Studios basically right out of graduating university, and his early tasks consisted of creating bumpers that would air during commercial breaks for the network. Although the hungry hipster had heard through the grapevine that the bigwigs were actually searching for animators to create short series for their website. And that's when Clark gave birth to the show that we know today as 5 On with Alan Walter. What, did you think I was going to say Ugly Americans? Why would I say that? Just because of the title? Shut up. I don't have that DVD. This series looks very rough, but it does have quite fascinating aspects that I want to point out, such as the collaborators that Devin Clark was able to work with on this, which include a bunch of, at the time, young comedians, most notably John Mulaney and Nick Kroll, you know, like the Rescue Ranger voice actors. And these guys wrote...
Nick Kroll. I think Nick Kroll played David Blaine. It was somebody who played, I think he played David Blaine.
And voice their own bits too. And you can tell because John Mulaney's are really funny and witty.
Sorry, Josephine. I was at a robot coat party all night. Chicks, tits.
Sounds like a good time.
It wasn't.
Well, Nick Kroll's are, not.
Today we're asking robots about their feelings about illegal immigration in our country.
Why are you asking me? I am not a robot. I am Laura Bush.
I apologize.
Wife of the President George W. Bush.
Okay, Nick Kroll is like light years more successful than me, so I'm just being a hater, but you proud hater. I love hating Nick Kroll. Sorry, what am I talking about again? Ugly Americans. Five On with Alan Walter. That's it. The 5 On series consisted of parody news segments based in a fantastical version of New York, where humans live with robots and demons and wizards and sometimes even women. Each short featured various citizens giving their opinion on certain issues in the city. And 5 On appropriately had 5 episodes, but they were only 3 minutes long. Come on, couldn't have made them 5 minutes each. The animation consisted of these talking character loops that totally don't scream low budget. Honestly though, a clever tactic to produce these things. and it allowed the comedian's writing to take the spotlight while the peculiar characters and world left whoever viewed it curious to discover more.
And I like how in this program we could see some early character designs, like for Randall, Twain, Leonard, and Callie. Oh yeah, and there's the Donald Trump reference.
But, you know, Rosie O'Demon, she's a fat loser, whereas I am a slim or slender demon.
No more so probably than this dude, David Stern, who would end up hopping on to help develop and refashion the world of 5 On with Alan Walter to become Ugly Americans with Alan Walter. What, there's no Alan Walter? What the fuck happened to Alan Walter? Dude, I'm done with this. I'll be going over the rest of the supporting characters in a moment when I start making more of the connections to Trump's America. So for now, let me just continue giving a little overview of the show. Ugly Americans is a show based around the social worker Mark Lilly, who works in New York City's Department of Integration, which specializes in facilitating the integration of non-humans into the city. So a lot of these episodes may consist of a Scooby-Doo Monster of the Week style thing, except, you know, they're not solving a crime, it's just like trying to help them get laid or something. Usually they're trying to help them get laid. Comedy Central, okay, you're asking, what are we writing a funny plot about? It's like this, that's what we got.
The animation was done by Augen Blick Studios, known for programs like Wonder Chosen and Super Jail, just to name a few.
The animation did have a very specific style that took a little time to grow on me, but I think I really appreciate it now. The character models do come across more stiff and less dynamic, but you can tell there was a lot of love put into the backgrounds and sight gags in the show too. The team said they drew a lot of stylistic inspiration from EC Comics, not DC, EC. That's why they used a lot of melodramatic color shots, inky lines, and heavy blacks. Another awesome detail is that they start every episode paying homage to a different decade or style of horror. So you come into the episode thinking that some horror scene is happening, only for there to be a comedic subversion. One of the strongest aspects, in my opinion, is the voice cast. But it's not a bunch of normal voice actors that we're used to seeing in cartoons. The show, leaning into their Comedy Central roots, hired a bunch of stand-up comedians for the roles instead of voice actors. A choice that could lead to forgettable, mismatched performances, although if a casting director does have a skilled ear, they could just cast these comedians who have voices that fit like a glove, and then they don't have to worry about doing a silly voice. And that's exactly what we got here. Matt Oberg voices the main character, Mark Lilly, and I was not, and honestly am still not, ultra familiar with Oberg, but oh damn, this guy does an excellent job carrying the show as the ultimate straight man to this zany world. And for someone without much acting work previous to this, he gave Mark's emotion a good amount of nuance. That's probably why Matt Oberg has seemed to find a good amount of recent success lately playing Kite Man in these DC shows.
Hey, you know me, I got a kite.
Dude, get that bad. Natasha Leggero provides the sultry, dominating vocals to Callie Maggotbone, Mark's love interest. Quick side note, Devin Clark, the creator of the show, posted the original pitch pilot version of Ugly Americans to his YouTube channel, which cuts out a whole plotline from the pilot that aired on Comedy Central. But on top of that, we find out some of the voice cast wasn't set in stone yet, as Callie's voice actress was different in the original.
Sucks being you, huh, choir boy?
Excellent debasing, Callie.
Sucks being you, huh, choir boy?
Excellent debasing, Callie.
Yet I do think they made a brilliant choice going with Leggero. Her natural aura that you can even see in her stand-up comedy translates flawlessly.
Justin, you've been on Ellen more than a pussy juice mustache.
While following this role, the next notable voice acting role I remember her snagging was replacing Caitlin Olsen, aka Dee from It's Always Sunny, voicing Ethel for season 2 and 3 of Brickleberry. It's hard to not forget that one. The role didn't really fit her, to be fair. Comedian Kurt Metzger drones in with his voice for Mark's zombie roommate Randall. Oh, Kurt. Really want to like you, buddy.
I'm talking about he was falling apart because he was a fucking zombie. I was right. Yeah, because I seen this show a minute ago. Like, this had to have been like 2 years ago when I seen it on my TV. But I don't be watching TV like that. I'll be out here trying to make videos for y'all.
I've enjoyed one of his comedy specials before, and I've always thought he brought such a refreshing and natural delivery to his lines as Randall.
Man, Sudoku is boring as shit. What is this, a punishment in China for Googling the word freedom?
But some of the things he's been up to, it ain't it. First off, he worked with the Sketch Comp sketch show inside Amy Schumer. Gross. He did win an Emmy and Peabody Award for this work, though. Truly shocks me because a good amount of those jokes apparently were plagiarized. And yeah, he's been producing some bad takes, even recently. with some Schmepstein stuff.
Randy Perlstein, a veteran GTA voice actor, does the voice for Leonard the Wizard.
The angelic voice of the demon boss, Twain Bone Roper. I don't think I can say that last name on here without getting demonetized, so Bone Roper is who we'll call him. The angelic voice of Twain belongs to Michael Leon Woolley, who is quite the theater kid. Woolley's got loads of Broadway experience under his belt, having even played the plant Audrey 2 in Little Shop of Horrors. And he may not be a stand-up comedian, but they actually found Woolley when he was doing a table read for Matt Stone and Trey Parker's musical The Book of Mormon before it was a giant Broadway hit, so they knew he had good comedic timing.
There's also Larry Murphy, who plays Police Lieutenant Grimes, and he's no stranger to adult animation, having been in shows like Assy McGee.
And yes, he was the Assy McGee from Assy McGee. We're in the presence of greatness, boys. And there's plenty of cool additional voices to catch, like Nick Kroll and
McGee was a classic. I remember that shit.
John Mulaney, who returned. Comedian Pete Holmes provides a few voices. Creator Devin Clark even stepped into the booth on a few. But the best one to shout out is John H. Benjamin, who comes in to play the male version of Callie in an episode of Season 2. You see, Callie goes through a long-term gender change in order to broker a deal with the all-male population of Atlantis. While I'm talking about this episode, I was shocked at how ahead of its time they were with this episode essentially bringing up transgenderism. The characters are all quite progressively thinking. It's played partially to comedic effect, since Mark wishes for his male cohorts to legitimize his feelings about Callie being a man. You know, he's not really all cool with it.
Ditching your girlfriend just because she's a he? That's discrimination, Buster.
I guess it was all about the body for you, not the person.
But it's not really played for comedic effect, seeing as how it genuinely leads Mark to declaring that Callie's gender doesn't matter and that he loves Callie for who they are, not their genitalia.
But I know now, it's what's inside that matters, not the packaging. I love this one.
Superbly executed. And like I said, it's John H. fucking Benjamin as male Callie, so this almost feels like an episode of
I feel like it was programming and conditioning, but niggas is adult. This is an adult show, so you got your right to make your decision on what you see. But the shit this is what they do in the kids show. Now they've actually been doing it since 2010. You know, when they brought Teen Titans Go and all that shit, they be throwing that bullshit in there.
Bob's Burgers or Archer. I don't know that it feels like an episode of Archer. I haven't seen a lot of Archer. I've seen like a scene. I don't know. It just doesn't hit for me.
You're great at dancing. You should do.
Archer don't hit for me either. I don't really watch. I had Hulu for a minute, and Archer. That was a show I just kept going past. I tried to watch it, and I just couldn't get into it.
More of it. I know.
The music was composed by three dudes: Bradford Reed, Andrew Landry, and Chris Anderson. Andrew Landry made the transitional tunes for the show, which are sparse but very nice. And Bradford Reed is the only one of these composers to actually have a Wikipedia page, but boy, it's an interesting read, so I'm going to waste a minute of your life talking about it. Bradford Reed is an American multi-instrumentalist, experimental luthier, and a member of the avant-garde band King Missile 3. In the 1980s, he invented the penicillin, a custom-made string instrument. And if you're wondering what an experimental luthier is, a luthier is someone who manufactures alternative string instruments. So, you know, that's why he made the thing. I just like that. I didn't know people can make instruments still. Fun. Instruments. A cranton. What the heck's a cranton? Page does not exist. There's no page for a cranton. Okay, enough waffling on about background information of the show. Let me go into how ugly Americans predicted Trump's America. And that can actually be shown very easily with
this is what we was waiting for. You know what I'm saying? We went through that, man. But this was what we was waiting for. And I knew he had something cooking, but he has to make the video longer, you know, and more interesting. So that was still interesting, even though, you know, y'all caught me yarning and shit.
One episode, conveniently.
Yarning.
Enough. It's the pilot episode. No, I'm not doing this to be lazy. It's actually the pilot episode. Watch. And I'm also happy to go over this first episode since it was actually one of the best episodes of the series.
Why he thinks baby's vagina?
This pilot episode acts as a perfect example of how this cartoon could perform, maintaining decent humor, authentic emotion, and legitimate social commentary. Very legitimate, we have learned. Like, oh my god, why is it this legitimate?
Man, as long as I've been watching this thing, I just realized he got on the I'm excellent hat on, bro. Shout out to bro. I fuck with the regular show, man. I need to get that head.
We start by meeting Mark Lilly, who is a social worker in New York City and
So I can't fit that motherfucker.
works for the DEI, the Department of Integration. It sounds a lot like immigration. Mark Lilly is a young and newer employee, but he's very optimistic, which is good because today everyone else but him in his department gets fired. That's how little funding his department gets, yet Mark makes the best of it and starts a integration therapy group sort of thing, which we do get introduced to a lot of fun characters here. I know I said all of Mark's coworkers got fired, but he still does have sort of a slightly upper management, similar position coworker in Leonard Powers, the wizard. He's an elderly coworker of Mark's who appears to have a fairly similar role, although for how much work we actually see Mark doing compared to Leonard, that definitely does not seem fair. Leonard's the guy who's been working so long in a company that he essentially has unspoken tenure, so he should be good at his job, right? I mean, he's even a wizard, so that should include some great perks for the company, huh? Nope, he's an incompetent alcoholic who just lies instead of doing any work, despite having the mystical powers to accomplish any task multitude times easier than any human like Mark could.
Abracadabra.
Does that guy sound a little familiar? If I don't have you sold there, let's keep going. What about Police Chief Lieutenant Grimes? He's actually the main antagonist of the pilot episode, stating that his task is to deport the people that Mark is working with. He's a brash, aggressive cop that breaks rules in order to meet quotas. Quotas specifically to deport integrated individuals out of the city. And all for bonus compensation. And I mean, the guy is just racist. He doesn't even really know what he's racist against. He's just blindly racist.
And I hate Mexican food.
Even chalupas?
Wait, that's Mexican? I love those. What do I hate then? Armenians, that's it.
And he cheers on deplorable actions and twists narratives for the press to make them seem better for the police. I mean, come on, if this isn't ringing any bells here, I mean, Grimes has to be one of the strongest similarities, and what's so interesting about it is that was the plot line that was removed from the original pilot. Well, not removed from the pilot, but added to the pilot. It was not in the original 13-minute pilot. But the show needed an antagonist, and for an ultimately optimistic, nice guy like Mark,
He seemed like a friend more than an antagonist, though.
Or you need someone pessimistic and just negative and evil and heinous. Grimes, he's grimy. The ultimate optimist is also rooming with the ultimately complacent man, the zombie Randall Skeffington. He's apathetic to the bigger problems of the world and accepting with his mediocre position in life. He also makes rash decisions for immediate satisfaction without much thought, as we see in his initial backstory, where he went zombie after a woman said she was hot for zombies, even though she had moved on to being hot for wizards by the time he had turned zombie. Haven't we all been there? So yeah, I think Randall is a good stand-in for your average citizen. And if you're not convinced by that, he also smokes weed. That's right, you relate to him now, don't you? I know you do, Dylan. Stoner. And there's some other connection to Trump's America nowadays that I haven't touched on yet. Oh yeah, the companies are run by demons, and the demons kind of are running the world slightly. Schmerstein Files may have enlightened us a little bit on that one. So yeah, we'll start with Twain.
Would you like mustard on your knish?
Oh, no thanks. I don't like mustard.
Are you fucking kidding me? Everybody likes mustard!
That's crazy, but I don't like ketchup. That's me. I don't like ketchup. So I like mustard on my hot dogs and shit. I don't like ketchup on anything. So whatever.
Too much passion.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that in front of him.
Passion.
Wayne is the director of the Department of Integration, and he's completely fine with Grimes' aggressive deportation tactics. In fact, he's encouraging of them. He's the one giving them the bonus, and, you know, he's a demon. He's running the whole system.
You rubber stamp immigrants into the workforce. Grimes sends them back where they came from. Did I miss something?
Mark checks him in, Grimes pops him out. While he is 100% demon, that doesn't stop him from being a...
That's why I was like, he seemed more like a friend, because they in the same room all the time. They, you know, having meetings and shit. I thought they were just, you know. But, okay, now it makes more sense. He put it into perspective, like, they all got their duty, you know what I'm saying? on this end, he locked him up when he got out of his plea. So I see it now.
100% Mama's Boy too. He's an interesting character because he has two halves of his personality that allow him to act as the villain of an episode, while other times he can be an ally or just the comedic punching bag.
I think I'm gonna need a bigger mating bone.
Fluffers.
He's either being a silly goober or a homicidal, maniacal goober. And let's not forget that Mark is in a shaky relationship with the half-human, half-demon chick, Callie Maggot-Bone. Callie is also his manager at work. Mark and Callie appear to have a compatible sexual relationship, which has got to be the only thing not milquetoast about Lily Boy here. Although the couple definitely has different goals and values in life.
So innocent. I just want to corrupt your soul, you little. What's wrong?
Callie is a cold, heartless corporate drone, and she loves it. For instance, naturally, she loves Mark and thinks her boss, Twain, is a tool. However, when Callie's on the clock, she will kiss Twain's ass and betray Mark with a smile on her face. On top of that, simply being a demon means Miss Maggot-Bone often doesn't have the best intentions for the human race, especially since her father is a very prominent demon with a hilariously subversive squeaky voice.
Put my pie
Put your
away.
pie away.
The pie was your idea. You said the next time you want to kill someone, try giving them a pie instead.
But hey, demons who run the world still exploit nepotism. Ain't that right, Don Jr., Barron, Jared? I don't know, Trump probably has other kids we don't know about. All of that. Anytime I see the word nepotism, I just think of Neopets, too. Anyone else? All my Neopets are starving, and I'm worried about Trump's America. And I know I haven't gotten in.
This nigga, yeah, he pure 90s to early 2000 with it. For real, Neopets?
To him much, but let's talk for a second about Mark Lilly. The main.
Hold on. I'm sorry, yo. I gotta check it out. Oh. History? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they came back out. Okay. Pets history. Yeah. Let me see some Neopets. Yeah, okay. I remember the name. I remember that name. That shit, that's crazy. Let me see some images. I got no images of this shit. It was online. Okay. Now we get these games on the phone. But they said they had made a return. Hold on, my bad. Damn, wrong one. Wait, fucking up. Wait, hold on. It is on here. This in a way. Here, let's get back to it.
Character here.
Even your own franchise of group counseling establishments.
Mark Lilly's Life Improvematorium? I always dreamt it would be Helpateria, but this is even better.
Because when I first watched this show when I was younger, it was first airing, I was 15 at the time. I thought Mark was a pretty forgettable character. I liked his voice. Matt Ober, your voice still got me back then, dude, but I didn't think much of his character. After rewatching the show, Mark Lilly might be one of my favorite characters in all of animation, surprisingly. And I say surprisingly because the show itself, honestly, isn't terribly highly ranked. Like, it's not low ranked. It's not a bad show, or else I wouldn't be giving it a whole video. But it's not as good as other shows that I have talked about, in my opinion. The jokes just don't.
It definitely ain't that good. It ain't that good of a show. It's straight, because, like, obviously, I watched probably like a couple of episodes of it, and it's not memorable like that. Like, I remember the episode that did pop up, but whatever, let's go.
Hit his heart. But Mark Lilly is such an interesting protagonist. He is the ultimate optimist and ultimate good guy. He will not compromise his morals. And no matter how bad a plot gets, no matter how sticky of a situation Mark is put in, he somehow finds a way to not give in and do the wrong thing. He always finds the absolute best solution, and it truly makes him an interesting and fun character to watch, because writers do a great job at not cheating any of that. As the show progressed, I felt like that was one of the elements that hooked me in every episode. Seeing how Mark was still going to be a nice guy, which is the ultimate antagonist, protagonist, in this case, to Trump's America. He wants to help everybody. He gives everybody the benefit of the doubt, even Lieutenant Grimes, his demon boss. The dude thinks fishing is killing. He's a bit of a control freak, though. Like, he's got his kids' names already planned and, like, the date in which he's going to have them. He's started their college funds already.
I want you to picture us 14 years, 5 months, and 6 days from now. We're living on our houseboat with our children, Ethan and Desiree.
There's even an episode we learn later on where his positivity almost was toxic. He was telling his girlfriend she wasn't allergic to eggs, she was just afraid of them, and he used his therapy speak to make her eat eggs. And
Mommy, why can't you have the most important meal of the day with us? And you say, because I'm afraid of the eggs your father makes.
Didn't go well. She turned into the Hulk. I'm not kidding. Watch it. It's a fun one. But
that's that episode too. I see that episode. That's crazy. The episodes he's talking about, I seen some of them. But
have anything to do with Trump's America? I don't think eggs.
Like, once you see something, you never forget it. But it's not memorable in the sense like, hey nigga, hey dog, I seen this. Won't you? It was crazy. It was just like a show to pass time.
Have turned people into the Hulk yet? Eggs have not turned people into the Hulk yet.
It's a waste of time, but I'm glad he watched it so he can have his video.
Here are a few moments, not from the pilot, that did make my Magaydar go off. Like I said, we have essentially ICE going after immigrants and demons running the world. I showed you Twain getting his ears shot off, and now that you know he is Mark's boss and not a demon leader, you're probably wondering, hey, how does that connect to Trump? Well, in that episode, he is reenacting a war in which he starts as a demon soldier and worked his way up, became the leader of demons, and is literally giving like a demon president speech, and Mark is having to assassinate him. He misses, gets his ear. It's even like a nerdy, not usually shooting a gun white boy going after the leader. Now that I think about it, I think it's very appropriate that they put Mark Lilly in a blue shirt. Is that the little nod to the left-leaningness? Oh yeah, and earlier in that Demon War reenactment episode, when Twain is going through boot camp as a soldier, he gets told this command:
"We will RSVP now to Diddy's white party."
They RSVP for Diddy's parties because they're polite for him because he's a monster. There's even a whole episode surrounding a politician who's an absolute sleazebag. He's lecherous with women, throws his money around, is constantly doing inappropriate things, saying inappropriate things to the press, and he just flaunts that he can get away with it, touts it happily because he's made a deal with the devil. Oh my god. Now I would say this character is obviously there to parody Trump if this wasn't, years before Trump ran for office, and if Trump wasn't also already featured in the show in an episode. Oh yeah, how can I forget? In the pilot episode, the demons are eating babies in hell.
And we have an unbaptized baby arm soup with a playful raspberry Kool-Aid.
I'm going with the breadsticks.
Those are also baby legs. Now I know they were just making a pop culture reference, but the show even alludes that Justin Bieber may have sold his soul in order to get his fame. I don't think he did that, but I definitely think something happened to the poor dude. Oh yeah, and you gotta love this little dig at Big Pharma.
Nuva Soul replicates the effects of having a soul, such as consciousness and a basic moral center. Right, Dollface? So worth it.
Side effects of Nuva Soul include euphoria, contentment, exhilaration, jubilation, mirth, optimism, peace of mind, and diarrhea. Nuva Soul, manufactured by Pfizer.
I don't know what sort of That's So Raven powers Devin Clark had to pull off some of these predictions in this show, but I do love that the people behind Ugly Americans knew which side of history they wanted to stand on, as this was the back page of the booklet from the Ugly Americans DVD I bought. Embrace diversity. It's silly.
All this shit that's going on, bro, it's just a huge show. Like, especially with this social media where you can interact with it way more, man. Like, that's all this is, a huge show. And a lot of motherfuckers be able to interact with it. Like, this shit going on with Drewski, Epstein shit, Jay-Z, like all this bullshit that's to distract you from self, everything outside of you, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't be watching TV like this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't watch movies and shit like that because, like, I'm about to get into this Invincible shit while I got a little time to do it. But, matter of fact, I'm going to watch it with y'all if I can. I'm going to try and see what happens. But with that being said, like, subscribe, and share. It's that nigga Mom, and much love.
Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. Way past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses that comfort them with torment snoring. Like you in your own home with a home phone. I'm on like E.T., got a phone home past the moon. It's not a movie.